everyone. We're going to determine the limit of this given sequence. We have 7n squared plus n divided by n plus 3 times sine of pi over 5n. And from our previous video, we went over why this is true. When you take the limit as n approaches positive infinity of n times sine of pi over some a of n, that limit converges to pi over a. So we're going to use that fact and from the techniques we used in the previous video. So we're going to get started. What I'm going to do before I go in the next video is this numerator here, I'm going to factor out an n. So I'm going to have n, 7n plus 1 times n. And what's going to happen, I'm going to be moving this n up in here because I want it to look like this over here. So let's get started, and we're going to take the limit as n approaches positive infinity of 7n squared plus n over n plus 3 times sine of pi over 5n. Now I'm going to factor out that n, like I said before. So I'm going to get 7n plus 1 divided by n plus 3 times n, so that n, I just pulled it out here, times sine of pi over 5n. Now, what I can do is write this as, let's see, taking the limit of this piece first. So I'm going to take the limit of this, and that's going to be where I divide everything by n. So you have limit as n approaches positive infinity, and if you divide everything by n, you get 7 plus 1 over n. And this piece, when you divide by n, you'll get 1 plus 3 over n. So when you take the limit of this, this is going to equal 7, because the limit, if n gets large here, this goes to 0. And if n gets really large here, this gets closer and closer to 0. So that limit is 7. We already know from our other techniques that we used in the previous video that limit as n approaches positive infinity of n times sine of pi over 5n. Since my a is 5, that's going to equal pi over 5. So when you multiply these two, our final answer would be this converges to 7 times pi over 5, which equals 7 pi over 5. And that's all. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.